I want to start this story by saying that I'm not someone who believes in the paranormal easily. I work as a freelance cameraman, mostly for small events, schools, birthdays, local documentaries, that kind of thing. Nothing dramatic, nothing dangerous. I've been doing this kind of work for years, and if there's one thing it teaches you, it's how to stay calm and observant. When you're behind a camera, you notice details most people ignore. That's important later. This happened about 3 years ago, when I was hired to record a short promotional video for a private preschool that had recently reopened after renovations. The owner wanted footage of classrooms, smiling kids, teachers interacting, simple, cheerful stuff to attract parents. I remember thinking it was an easy job. The building itself used to be something else before it became a preschool. I don't remember what exactly, maybe offices, maybe apartments, but it had that repurposed feeling. Long hallways, low ceilings, rooms that didn't quite feel like they were meant for children. The staff were friendly but nervous. Not rude, just distracted. One teacher asked me more than once to avoid filming certain angles. Another requested I stop recording during nap time, even though nap time footage was specifically mentioned in the contract. When I asked why, she smiled and said, "Parents don't like seeing too much." That should have been my first warning. The real reason I'm writing this, though, isn't what I saw while I was there. It's what I saw later, when I reviewed the footage. Because there were things on those recordings that I did not see with my own eyes. And the worst part is this. Whatever appeared on my camera knew exactly where the lens was pointing, that I didn't notice it at first. I was editing late at night, headphones on, scrubbing through footage frame by frame like I always do. Classroom shots, kids drawing, teachers smiling. Everything looked normal, almost too normal. Then I paused the video. In the background of one classroom shot, reflected faintly in a dark window, was a figure holding a camera. I assumed it was me, but the angle was wrong. I rewound the clip and played it again. The figure didn't move when I moved. It didn't match my posture, and the camera it was holding wasn't mine. It looked older, bigger, mounted on something heavy. I checked the timestamp. That footage was recorded during a moment when I remembered clearly being outside the room, adjusting audio equipment. There was no other cameraman hired. As I went through more clips, I found it again, and again, always in reflections, always just out of focus, always facing directly toward the lens. In one clip, one I still regret slowing down, the figure raised its hand, as if adjusting the camera, at the exact moment I adjusted mine in real life. That's when I stopped editing. The next day, I contacted the preschool owner and told her I couldn't continue the project. I didn't explain why. I didn't need to. She didn't argue. She just said, "It shows up for everyone eventually." I deleted the files. At least, I thought I did. 2 weeks later, while filming a completely different job in a different part of the city, I checked my camera playback during a break. For one single frame, between two normal clips, was a shot I never recorded. A dark hallway, low ceiling, a preschool mural peeling off the wall, and in the reflection of a glass door, was me, standing still, holding my camera, staring straight ahead, as if I were the one, being filmed. I don't work with preschools anymore. I don't film empty buildings. And I never, ever, review footage alone at night. Because cameras don't just record what's there. Sometimes, they record who's watching back. I'm a cameraman, and I want to make something clear before I start. This wasn't a haunted house. This wasn't an abandoned place. And this didn't happen late at night. It happened in the middle of the day, while people were around. Which is what makes it so much worse. I was hired to record security footage upgrades for a small preschool that had recently installed a new camera system. My job wasn't creative filming, just testing angles, blind spots, motion detection, and night vision. Basically, I was there to walk around with a handheld camera while the fixed security cameras recorded me, so the owner could see what coverage looked like. Simple job. Boring job. The owner told me something strange, though. He asked me to announce myself out loud whenever I entered a room. I laughed and asked why. He didn't laugh back. "Just do it," he said. "It helps us tell recordings apart." That sentence didn't make sense to me at the time. The preschool was quiet. Kids were gone for the day. Only 2 teachers and the owner were there, sitting in the front office. Every classroom was empty except for tiny chairs, drawings taped to walls, and nap mats stacked neatly in corners. As I walked through the halls, I spoke clearly for the cameras. "Testing camera 3. hallway left wing, entering playroom. Everything felt normal, until I reached the nap room. The temperature dropped the moment I stepped inside. Not cold enough to shiver, just enough to notice. I announced myself like I was told. Cameraman entering nap room. The room was empty, but all the nap mats were laid out. That bothered me more than it should have. I finished my walkthrough and handed the memory card to the owner. He said he'd review it later and thanked me. I packed up and left, already forgetting about the job. 2 days later, he called me back. He asked me to come alone. When I arrived, he looked exhausted, eyes red, hands shaking. He didn't greet me. He just led me straight to the office computer and pressed play. He showed me the security footage. At first, it was exactly what I expected. There I was walking through the hallway, holding my camera. There I was entering classrooms. Then we reached the nap room footage. The door opened, but I didn't walk in. Someone else did. The figure stepped into the nap room slowly, holding a camera identical to mine. Same model, same strap, same position against the chest. I felt my stomach drop. The timestamp showed this was recorded at the exact same time I had been filming in a different room. The figure stopped in the center of the nap room and spoke. In my voice. Cameraman entering nap room. The owner paused the video. My heart was pounding so hard I could hear it in my ears. I told him it wasn't me. He nodded. We know. He clicked to another camera angle. The nap room camera showed the figure standing completely still now, facing directly toward the wall where children usually slept. Then the figure lowered the camera and looked straight up at the security camera. It smiled. I don't mean a friendly smile. I mean the kind of smile that happens when someone knows a secret you don't. The owner fast-forwarded. Hours passed. The figure never moved. It stood there the entire night, still smiling, still watching. At 6:13 a.m., the figure lifted the camera again and spoke one last time. Subject recorded. Then it walked out of frame. The nap mats were never used again after that. I quit the job immediately. I deleted every file on my camera and reset it completely. I even replaced the memory cards. Or at least, I thought I did. A month later, I was filming a wedding. During a break, I checked my footage to make sure everything was recording properly. Between two clips, just one frame, was a video I never shot. It was dark, low ceiling, crayon drawings on the wall, and at the center of the frame was a small sleeping mat. Someone was lying on it, holding a camera, pointed directly at me. The video ended there. I don't film security systems anymore. I don't test cameras. And I never announce myself out loud when I enter a room, because whatever answered me that day wasn't pretending to be human. It was logging me,